Let's look at the equation. R is equal to E B theta. This is going to look similar to this. And this is B. This is our R. And then theta, of course, is right here. All right, so here's our particle, and we're going to try to find V. That's our goal today. So with this equation, which makes this graph, we're going to try to find the velocity of what this looks like. All right, so there's going to be a change in delta. There's going to be a change in R because your R starts out here and it gets larger and larger. And also your theta is also, not delta, theta is also moving. All right, B doesn't change. B is the same. So let's find out what the velocity is of R. Well, that's just going to be dr dt, right? Dr dt. And we just take the derivative of this thing, which is just b, e to the b theta. But don't forget, we got to use the chain rule, so this is d theta dt. All right, so this is the velocity of r, and this is the velocity of theta. So we found the velocity of theta, and we found the velocity of r. So how would we find the velocity? Well, there's a nice little equation which tells us that velocity is going to be equal to velocity in r plus velocity theta. We square those two, take the square root, and this is going to be the velocity. So let's find out what we can do. Well, VR in linear fashion or in linear motion, VR is just dr dt, or dr dt. In linear motion, V theta is just R times d theta. Oops, dr dt. D theta dt. All right, so if we plug these into this, and we already have all of our information, if we plug that into that, we should get our V. So let's do that. So we'll plug this in. So VR is just simply dr dt, which is this, which is going to be b to the e, b theta, d theta, dt. We're going to square everything, plus r, which is just e to the b theta, times d theta dt. And we're going to square this too. Then we're going to put the whole thing under a square root. All right, so if you can see now that we can actually factor some things out here. We can factor out a eb to the theta. We can factor out the derivative of the theta. All right, so velocity is going to be to factor that out. We have e to the b theta d theta dt is going to be equal to b squared plus 1 square root. All right, so one last thing. This is the equation. One last thing is d theta dt is actually w, which is w equals d theta dt. We can plug that right in here. We get velocity is equal to e to the b theta b squared plus 1 square root. This is the velocity of a particle on this particular equation. Thank you, and I hope you subscribe.